thanks so much for Nancy Sims Workshop. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. So today we are going to be reviewing A Fate Inked in Blood. This is super popular right now. I read it for my friend Gina's book club, the Kiss and Tell book club. If you're looking for Lauderdale, come check us out on the 26th of this month. It's a Sunday. Last Sunday of the month. But I read it for my friend Gina's book club. I already owned it. Mind you, I got that fairly exclusive edition and I'm not mad about it. I did thoroughly enjoy the book. However, I did have some personal pet peeves. First of all, I do think Jensen's a really good storyteller. I was very much in love with her world building that was going on here. I mean, it's like I was on the set of Vikings, and I love that show. It felt like I was there in this book. You know, her world building, her detailing, just her scene structure is so it's well done. Simply put, it's just engaging, it's captivating, and I thoroughly did enjoy that aspect of the story. I liked Freya as a character. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to start by saying that I liked Freya. I thought, especially after that opening sequence with her and her husband, you really do get to see that she's a compassionate woman, but also a fierce warrior. Like, this is the woman you don't want to cross, but she's always kind of putting others before herself. You know, with her family, they married her off to this dick. I mean, because he was a dick. But she's very protective, and she's very caring, and she's very compassionate, and I love that about her, that she can be all these things while also being a powerful shield maiden, because that's what she is. She's the prophesized shield maiden. I did like Freya as a character, but after that initial sequence with her and her fight with Bjorn, and then, you know, the incident with her husband, I felt like her characterization took a bit of a hit. You still get to see that resilience in her. You still get to see her ferocity. You still get to see her compassion and how her struggles of, you know, fulfilling this prophecy but not being a monster, and really thinking about what it means to be a warrior and a raider, and just thinking like, everything that I fear when being raided, I'm now doing to these people. Like, so she's really very reflective, and I think that that's really key for her. You know, she's very thoughtful in that aspect. But every single time that she's just lusting, I'm saying that word because that is the word Jensen uses in the book quite often, lusting for Bjorn, I felt like it just took away from her characterization a little bit. I get it. You want to be horny for this dude? Fine, be horny for the dude. He's, you know, their banter, that, I will say, that tension between them and that witty banter between them is just top tier. It was so well done. I did like that because it was funny, and it just really made you invested in their dynamic. They really had good chemistry. But every time her internal monologue was just her kind of just being horny, I felt like it took away from her characterization. Not to say that suppressing her sexuality or sexual urges would make her less of a character. I just think the way it was done took away from her character. I liked the inner conflict that she was dealing with, but, and I think this is why I think it took away from her characterization a little bit. My personal pet peeve, I've discovered, is whenever Jensen uses the word sex to describe her genitalia and her horniness. I hate that so much. My sex throbbed for him. I hate that so much. Sorry. That was so annoying. This is me every time. It's just like, really, this word again? We're using this word for this. I get it. Jensen's trying to go for a more authentic, medieval kind of feel for the book. But I think she does that really well with saying arse and just with her world building and the rest of the whole dialogue and storytelling. I think Jensen did a really good job of creating that old world medieval Viking atmosphere. I don't think this added word of sex in the context it was used added anything to the story. In fact, it made it feel forced because it just seemed so out of place every time she did it. And it was probably my biggest gripe with this book. Every single frickin' time. To me it was comical. I'm like, really? This word again? We're using this word again to describe this. It's just like, there are so many other ways to highlight Freya's femininity and her sexuality than just using this word. And it was, I think that's just really just a personal pet peeve of mine. And for me, I mean, my opinion, my book review, for me that just took away from her characterization. Because I felt like you were just denigrating her character to just this horny chick. And I didn't like that, considering how fierce she was every other time in the book. How she has to wrestle with her morals. And with, oh, she finally got her dream of being the warrior she's always wanted to be. But, you know, there is a cost, and she's finally seeing that cost. There's a lot of good characterization when it comes to Freya and Bjorn. But it was just, I think it was just that word. I think it was just that word. And every single time she was lusting after him. I mean, it was just, it seemed a little repetitive at times. It's like, okay, I get it. You like this dude. You love this dude. Can we, you know, I think that there are other ways that the author could have done it. Because she did everything else so well with the Norse mythology and the plot twist and the pacing and the overall characterization and the world building and the atmosphere. I think she did everything else so well that I think just all those lusting scenes and sequences in her head, I think they were a little repetitive at times. And I think they took away a little bit from the story and as well from her characterization. And that really is my biggest pet peeve with this book. That right there. This is why I don't always read romance books. Because this is considered a romantasy. But, I mean, I do think it was a really good story. I am excited for book 2. Is this a 5-star book? No, not for me. It's a 4-star book. You know, clearly. But overall, I did enjoy it. I like the Norse mythology, and I liked being submerged in this Viking world. It was very cool. It really did give me lots of Viking, like, yeah, flashbacks. I did love that show. But yeah, so 4 stars. If you want to check out the book yourself, if you haven't already, I will, of course, include links in the description. On that note, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.